people, I greet everyone in every black Africa, no matter where you are, I greet all of you, It has been a long time when people have been seeing me on live, it is real, man, for real, things are not easy, I have been with some kind of sickness, I have not been feeling well, so for that being the case, even in my voice, you can heard that I'm not really still okay, but I still got to work, still got to get back to work, because this is like a job to me that I took to stand for Africa and to speak for Africa. And what bring me here today was like something that is going on for a very long time, and nobody is talking about it. As you all know, we stand for the blackhood, for the black brotherhood, for the unity of Africa, and I will give big thanks, and I will send my greetings to We for Africa as an organization that stand for African unity. And we have a lot of organizations in Africa right now that are standing for the unity of Africa. I will extend my greetings to all of them, and including the We for Africa. And thank you guys, those who are writing quick recovery, thank you guys, I have not been feeling well, I have been with this fever, I can understand, it has disturbed me a little bit, but thank God, I'm still back again on my feet, still feeling a little bit okay, yeah. Amen. Those who are writing in speedy recovery, thank you so much, guys, thank you so much, And what brings me here today is to emphasize on a little bit about what is going on between German government and some African countries, like Nigeria and Gambia. We have been seeing so many things about German government, and we have been seeing the atrocities that German government is committing. And even the EU is themselves, the European Union, the atrocities they are committing, and I'm sure of many people are aware of it, but who is talking about it in media? Nobody. So what people are afraid to talk about, that's what I really kick it and talk about it. And I don't care whatever will become the outcome or whatever will be the consequence, but the fact must be told. Because they can be using black peoples when they need black peoples, and when they don't need us, they dump us, and that is not going to happen again. We want to put a stop to it. We want to really talk about things that peoples are who we believe they could be the peoples who who are in the position to talk about those things, but they are afraid of the Europeans or afraid of the EU, that they are not going to give them money. That is our governments. They are not ready to talk the truth out to their peoples. And we are here to dig out those truths that our leaders are afraid to say. And we are going to say it no matter what will be the outcome, what will be the consequence. We have been seeing that Germans have been deporting so many Nigerians, so many Gambians for a long time. And nobody was unable to talk about it. And at the same time, the same Germany need Nigeria, the same Germany is shouting, we want to work with Nigeria. Why do Germans want to work with Nigeria? That's what we want to discuss today. Why do Germans want to work with Nigeria? Why? Why is Europeans are now busy wanted to work with Nigeria? Nigeria have a leader who is senseless, that's what I will say. Sorry to say that if it is an insult, but it's not an insult, because if an old man is senseless, you need to call him a senseless man. That is the president of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is senseless, doesn't think about his people, but thinking about his own selfish interest thing. And that is making that country to sink and sink and sink and sink and sink again. And the same thing we are having in Gambia also. And these two countries that I'm mentioning here, these two countries are contrarily both working with Germany at this point in time. But these two countries are having leaders who are very senseless and who call themselves a democratic leaders. As you all know, we talk about the democratic leaders. Why do they call them democratic leaders? All those things. We are coming to see the reasons why they are calling them democratic leaders, why they join together, they join hands together to defend each other, always. Because they are all puppet to the West, And that's what we want to talk about today. Why German is in interest of Nigeria, and why German is ordering Gambian government that they need youths with talent youth with experience from Gambia. Why is German government doing that? And the same German government is deporting so many Gambians every month. Every month there is a flight going to deport Gambians back to Gambia. And this is something that nobody is talking about it. Even in Gambia, nobody is able to talk about it. Because when you are in Gambia, when you talk about it, where you go? Prison. The president is a dictator. And everybody in Gambia feel afraid to talk about the truth. Because the president now become a big dictator. To lock up anyone who speak out the truth. And this is what I tell the Gambian president. That the truth we will say. If you want to lock us, lock us. You can't lock some people sometimes, but you can't lock all the people all the time, Mr. President. And German government is trying to work with Nigeria at a point of German need a gas. Nigeria is having a gas. Nigeria have a gas that German need. And this is the main reason German says they want to work with, they're finding a way to work with Nigeria. While you are deporting my citizens back to my country, because German was deporting Nigerians. Some Nigerian women with their children, some Nigerian boys. German was deporting Nigerians and still deporting Nigerians, Ghanaians, the same Germany. But when you talk what people say no, they are doing bad businesses. That's why German is deporting them. And African peoples are now telling themselves that, they are telling their fellows that because they are deported because they are doing bad business in Germany. We need to understand one thing. A white man will never destroy his fellow white people's names because black people send them away. When Niger have sent white peoples away, France away, there is no French citizen who came out to say what French citizens were doing in Niger was wrong. That's why Niger sent them out. They know what their citizens were doing in Niger was wrong. But no French citizen came out to talk about it because they always want to defend their peoples. It's only in a black hood you see a black man being fool, don't understand how to defend his own peoples. Let me tell you one thing. If our peoples are doing bad business in Germany, then it's from the German government. If our peoples who are in Germany and they are being deported, and Germans say they deport them back to Africa because they are being doing bad businesses, selling bad things in Germany, then where do they get it from? They didn't get it from Africa. They didn't bring it from Africa. They get it from the German citizens. And where do German citizens get it from? Go to the prison of Germany, you meet millions of black peoples, thousands of black peoples in prison in Germany. Where are those German citizens who are doing bad businesses? Why those people have not been arrested? But the only peoples who can be arrested by selling bad things in Germany are black peoples. The only peoples who can be labeled before black people will come to Germany, German have bad businesses. German have illegal businesses. German citizens have been running illegal businesses. If you go to African countries, you meet German citizens doing illegal business. You meet so many European citizens. Go to Gambia, go to Senegambia. You meet them there. They are doing illegal business, white peoples. Go to Nigeria, the same thing. You meet England citizens doing illegal business in Nigeria. But nobody is arresting them. African government is afraid to arrest white people who came to Africa to do illegal businesses. And we sit and watch them to send our peoples back home. And we are saying, yes, they are right because they are doing illegal businesses. And most of us are saying that, yes, because they don't have document, that's why they deport them. How many white people are living in African countries without no African document? How many of them? We need to say the fact. The fact needs to be told. Come on closer, my friends. Say this because I will want my video to reach to European Union, because I will talk them today. Yeah. Even though they block me from asking questions to their own panels, but I will still ask questions and I will still question them on my own panel. And nothing will be done about it. The fact must be told. If we are afraid to face these people and tell them the fact, they are going to tremble on us and get away with it. They have been trembling on us and getting away with it. We are not going to sit here and watch a fools we call us an African leaders. And I see many people who are saying, we should stop blaming white people, we should stop blaming white people, we should stop blaming Westerners, we should blame ourselves. My brother, stop that nonsense. Let's stop that nonsense on media, saying that we should not blame the West. We should not blame the West. We should stop blaming the West. And I saw a white man who made a video also surrounding all the TikTok. People were supporting him. He was saying that, you people should not blame us. You people should blame your leaders. That white man get angry because we were making videos that the white peoples are stealers and they are killers and they are terrorists. That made that white man angry to make that video on TikTok. To say that we should stop blaming them. We should blame our leaders. We will not stop blaming white peoples. Yes, we didn't say we will not blame our leaders, but we will not stop blaming white peoples also. Because whatever is caused in Africa, today is caused by white peoples. The mentality of our peoples is all caused by white people. So to talk about those things, to change things in Africa, we need to tell Africans who their enemies are and what their enemies have been doing to them before. So that those who don't know who the hell is white peoples, they will know. This is why we blame white people still. And we will still talk about the stories, the histories. Many people say to talk about the histories are useless. It's not useless. You can't wake up Africans without telling them what their enemies did to them and who is their enemy. We need to tell our peoples who their enemies are. And we need to tell them what their enemies have been planning against them. And we need to tell them what their enemies have been doing to them. You can't just say, Africa, wake up, without telling us where to go. You can't just do that. You can't wake up one morning and say, and sit on media and say, Africa need to wake up, Africa, let's unite. You are not telling Africans any source, or any way to place their hands. So we need to tell our peoples who their enemies are, what their enemies have done to them, and what their enemies are still doing to them. They need to know. They need to understand. We need to teach our peoples how to behave like their enemies also at this point in time. For Africa to be capable to rule themselves, they need to behave like their enemies. Many people call it racist. They call it racism. They say Pandi Maica is racist, right? That's what many white people call me. When I said Africans need to behave like white peoples. If white peoples are good and they are not racist, why are they being angry if Pandi Maica says Africans should behave like white peoples? If white people know they are doing good behavior towards black peoples, why are they angry? Think about it, my fellow Africans. Why are they angry when I said Africans should behave like them? Because if they have good behavior, if Africans behave like them, it would not be a problem. So why are they getting angry? But because they know they have a bad character toward black peoples. And when black people copy that bad character and work toward them, they are going to suffer. And this is why they get angry at me always. They said I'm teaching people how to become racist. When I said African peoples, teach your children how to become racist. Teach your children how to run away from white peoples when they see them in Africa. Teach your children how to be racist to white peoples when they see them in Africa. This become a problem. Why is it becoming a problem? And we are seeing, let's go back a little bit and talk about this German government. In 2018, German government, in 2016, was not 2018, it was in 2016 when German government make it very clear that black peoples have no place in their country. They have no future for black peoples. In 2016. I can still remember it. When Germany, there was a woman at that time, was their counselor. That woman came out and uttered this rubbish from her mouth. And the European Union was in support of it. From there, Italy took over right now, doing the same thing to deport migrants back to Africa. European Union is aware of it. European Union is trying to defend the European territories, is trying to defend the European countries because they are angry why Niger and Mali get them out from their countries. And they want to put that anger on black peoples in their country. If not the stupidness of Nigerian President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is being fooled, an old man who is not thinking of anything but to eat money and sleep. An old man who is just waiting for death. Dead man, always, Nigeria always vote for dead peoples. You vote for Buhari, who was a dead man. You remove Buhari, now you go and vote for another dead man. Another dead man walking. I'm sorry, but this is the fact about Nigeria. Nigeria is unable to pick up a young leader for themselves because the young peoples are out of politics and they depend on bribery and fighting for the old cargoes to be on power. The problem of Nigeria lies on the hands of the Nigerian youths. When you don't wake up and start to see the light by yourself and start to change the regime of that dead man leadership, there's going to be a problem. You are losing your resources for zero. Yes, now your gas is going to go for no reason. That's what Germany is trying to do in Nigeria. Germany is trying to say, we want to work with Nigeria, we want to work. Nigeria have a gas that they need to put it on a gas pipe to cross Niger. When Niger block it, Niger says the pipe is not going to cross their country to come to Europe. And now what they want to do is to go there and pick up that gas from Nigeria. That's what Germany want to do. In all European countries, Germany is very capable and their economy is very strong. So their economy is strong to enough that they can plan how to move that gas from Nigeria to Germany. Germany need gas because Russia is not giving them gas. We need to understand one thing here. There is a big war. And you know, one thing Africans need to understand, that we are busy. We are thinking, you know, when I say this, many people think like it's a violent word. When I said, Africans, you can't take yourself away from white people without making war. Be prepared for that war because that war will come. Mark my words and mark my video and pack it aside. One day you will need this video. That you Africans can't get yourself from white peoples without making war with them. And be prepared for that war because they have already been preparing for that war. Yes, they have been preparing for that war that is coming. You think there will be no war? There will be a war between African black peoples and white peoples. And that war, white peoples have been preparing for that war. And they are stealing your resources to prepare for that war. Without your African resources, they can never prepare themselves for that war. And that war that is coming, they are going to stand and say, we don't need Africans anymore, while they have already stolen all your resources. And you, the Africans, are going to stand empty-handed and started crying, living in hunger and thirsty. You will not have no resources anymore. When they finish looting your resources, that's the time they will tell you that we don't want a partnership with Africa anymore. That's why we need to wake up. We need to stand up and fight. Let's fight now. If not, there will be no resources left in Africa the time we will wake up to fight. The time is now. Yes. European Union is a terrorist union. And that is the fact. There is no doubt about it. They are a terrorist union that is terrorizing all African countries. And nobody is talking to them. The so-called human rights organization is keeping quiet, seeing European Union making war in Congo. Nobody is talking about it. The so-called European Union soldiers are living in Congo for how many years? Looting Congo resources. Now they have to make war. Go to Sierra Leone. When they do an election in Sierra Leone, I made it very clear. I said, Sierra Leone need to be very careful. To the when they call on to ECOWAS and African Union and American election councillors and European election councillors, when they call them to Sierra Leone for negotiation, what do I say? I said they are coming to make a crime, and they will make sure that this idiot stay in power. I don't know, Madabio. I don't know. Sierra Leone, they are this foolish leader. They will make sure that that foolish leader stay in power. And they are going to make a war. What is happening in Freetown today in Sierra Leone? They make a war. You know, when they are going to make a war, they use an Africans and arm them. Those Africans who were armed by European Union are the same Africans who are terrorizing Freetown in Sierra Leone. Yes. Where do they get weapons from? Who supply them with weapons? To terrorize Freetown. Freetown is in fire. Because that's how they want it to be. Sierra Leone should never go back to the war. Sierra Leone should think. The youth of Sierra Leone should wake up and defend their territory. For that war that passed should not happen. That war that ended in 2002 should not happen. It cost Sierra Leone a lot. The same European Union is recruiting another terrorist group in Congo to make sure that Congo is unstable, to make sure that Congo's children live in hunger. And I'm talking about all those things. You know what some Africans are telling me? Hey, we have to pray for Palestine. Hey, we have to think about Palestine. When you don't wake up, there will be a time you will lose. Africa, you fight for peoples and leave your own territory when your own territory is on fire. Who does that? How can you go and quench fire in another man's house when your own house is on fire? How? Who does that? And Africans are shouting, taking the flag of Palestine, jumping. Nobody is thinking of taking the flag of Congo. Nobody is thinking of taking the flag of Sierra Leone. Nobody is thinking of taking the flag of Burkina Faso. Nobody is thinking of taking the flag of Nigeria. Nobody is thinking of taking the flag of South Africa. Nobody is thinking of taking the flag of Niger. And all these countries are in fire. All these countries I mentioned are on fire. But are we the Africans taking the flag of our own countries? We are taking the flag of Palestine. Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. Be careful, my brothers and sisters. Whatever is happening to Palestine, we didn't cause it. And we don't pray for what is happening in Palestine will continue. We are not happy seeing them dying. People should understand that. We are not happy seeing Palestine dying, but it's not our business. That's what people must understand. Palestine have never been considering any African country that have been in war. So why now we have to consider them? It's a job on Africans to pity others, but others are not pitying Africans when they are in problem. Africans are making themselves busy like it's their own country. Think about it. I am not against Palestine. I don't care. Palestine, Israel, I don't care. I don't have business with it. Before I will sit here and say free Palestine, why couldn't I sit here and say free Congo? Why couldn't I say free Sierra Leone? Why couldn't I say free Cameroon? All these countries are in conflict. Children are dying there. And people are telling me that children are dying in Palestine. So children are not dying in Congo? Children are not dying in Cameroon? So those black children who are dying in all these countries I mentioned, so that those children are nobody. Yes, we should not cry for them. We should go and cry for Palestinian children because those people are human beings. You see how black people are insulting themselves without knowing it. You see how we insult ourselves without knowing it. Yes, black people, you call yourself fools, you don't know. by taking the flag of Palestine. I don't say what is happening in Palestine is good. It's not good. But is it caused by you, the black peoples? How many times do Palestine cry for the black countries that have been in war or conflict? How many times? Tell me. How many Arab countries have ever rendered help to any black African country that have been in conflict or war? How many times? Nobody can ever tell me that there is this Arab country that come and help Africa or that sought for the freedom of this African country. Nobody can tell me even one country, one Arab country. We are seeing same Arabs, Tunis, tormenting our fellow black brothers, killing them for no reason. We are seeing Morocco doing the same thing. We are seeing Libyans doing the same thing to us. And those same Arabs, we are having pity for them. We are taking their flags out in. Those same Palestine, go and meet black people in Palestine. They are resisting them. They are beating them. Black peoples have no life in Palestine. And today you black people are shouting, Palestine free, Palestine. When Palestine is free, finally they don't need you anymore. When you go to their country, they send you away. When you go to their country, they treat you like an animal. Still, black man, you don't want to wake up. Black man, for you to get yourself and be free, you have to be racist. Yes, be wicked. Black peoples, you don't know God more than the peoples you think you know God more than them. Black man, you too have sympathy. This is what is killing the blackhood. Yes, we will see our enemies and we still know that they are our enemies. When they have problems, we still sit here and cry for them, cry for their freedom. How can you cry for your enemy to have freedom? When your enemy have freedom, what he will do to you, you don't think of that. But you are thinking and crying for your enemy to have freedom. Think about it. Your enemy is in problem. So you will go there and free your enemy. When they cage your enemy, you will go there and free your enemy so that he will come and kill you more. This is what we are doing when we are saying free Palestine. And it's the fact. The fact must be told. Nobody likes what is happening in Palestine. Their children are dying, they don't deserve it. Nobody deserves to die. But before we will cry for Palestine, we need to think. When we cry for Congo, Congo can cry for us. When we cry for Cameroon, Cameroon can cry for us tomorrow. When we cry for Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone can cry for us tomorrow. But when you cry for Palestine, Palestine will never cry for you. When you cry for Israel, Israel will never cry for you tomorrow. When you cry for Morocco, Morocco will never cry for you. When you cry for Tunisia, Tunisia will never cry for you. When you cry for Libya, Libya will never cry for you. Black man, this is what you have to understand. They are your enemies and they will always remain your enemies. You black peoples are the peoples who don't understand, still don't understand who are your enemies. In fact, we understand who are our enemies. Yes. We just feel like without pleasing those peoples, we are nobody. We have to keep on pleasing them while they are killing us. You are pleasing a man who is killing you every day. Why? Be ready for war, black peoples. Prepare yourself. I swear. Whether it will meet me alive or whether it will not meet me alive, you will say one day, Pandi Maica, tell me this. Prepare for war. You can never free that Africa you call your own. You can never free it without making war. And you are never been prepared for that war. Nobody is preparing you Africans for that war. But white people are here preparing for that war each and every day. Yes, they knew there will be a war. They know it. Do you think they don't know? They know it very well. It's a revolution to them that there will be a war between Europe and Africa. Yes. That war will come when Africans will finally say, nobody will touch our resources. Then there will be a war. Yes. Finally, when all African countries will say, no, we don't need black, white people, Westerners anymore. That's the time you will realize that what Pandi Maica was telling me is here. Here is the war. And if you are not prepared for the war, we can never win the war. And if we lose the war, then we lose everything. Nobody is telling you this. Nobody. Yes, we are shouting, we have to unite Africa, unity of Africa, freedom for Africa, liberation for Africa. Freedom and liberation doesn't come like that. And if anybody tell you that you will sit in your house and shout freedom, freedom will come to you, it's not possible. Yes, it's not easy to tell people, but freedom always came with war. People must lose their souls. Yes, it's not easy to say it, but that's the fact. Yes, let us not pretend anymore to peoples, but we must be ready for war when we want to be ready to liberate ourselves, to free Africa from our enemies' hands. Be ready to fight them. Be ready to kill them. Because they are ready. They are preparing to kill you like chickens. They have been preparing for that war. They are just waiting for the war to happen. When it happens, they will kill you black people like a chicken. Yes. This is the fact. They know what I am saying. The Westerners know what I am saying, what they are preparing for. But nobody is telling black people this. And black people have never been prepared for this war. That's why I said I don't need to tell my peoples anymore. There should be no fight. There should be no this. We need to wake up. I said I need to tell my peoples the fact. It's difficult to say, but this is the real fact. Let's be prepared for that war. Everybody, every black man, anywhere you are, if you know you believe in the African unity or the African freedom, and be ready for war. I swear to God. Yes. Many will die. Yes. I don't know if it will make me alive. They have their plans. Just look at what is going on in Africa right now. The strategies they are using on Africa right now, it will show you that we are going on a stage that would be a war. Yes, they are collecting whatever you Africans can use it tomorrow against them. They are collecting it from you. Your gas, your fuels, your oils, your diamonds, your platinums, your uraniums. They are collecting whatever that will be useful for you, the Africans, tomorrow in that war. They are collecting everything from you. An empty hand, can you do war? You can't. You can't do war. Yes. That's why they are not worried, because they know that Africans have never been prepared for that war. But they know that war will come, and they have been prepared for that war. They have been preparing for even their children's minds, their children's mentality for that war. For us, we are sitting there in Africa teaching our children's A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. While they are here teaching their children how to create missiles, how to create bombs, how to create war materials. We are seeing each and every year they are creating different kind of new materials of war materials. We are sitting in Africa, our children are there learning A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. And we said, yeah, we are fighting for liberation. While the children who we should prepare for this war, those children are not learning nothing about themselves. Yes, we are not telling those children nothing about themselves. We are just telling them about Europe, America, UK, and China. We are telling our children how great Europeans are, how great Chinese are, how great Americans are, how great England is. We are not telling them how great Africans are. And that's a big mistake we are making. Those children need to be prepared. Children of Africa now need to be prepared for war. Because they will be there to do this war. Liberation starts with children. You change the mindset of your children in Africa. Africans, change the mindset of your children. Deal with your children's mindset. Delete the fake mindset that they grow with, that they are now growing with. Let's teach them about themselves. Let's teach them how to protect themselves. Let's teach them how to protect their territories. Let's teach them who they are. That's why no black man have never become who he should be. We copy peoples, we learn people languages, and we become peoples that we are not. We become copycat. Yes, every black man become copycat. No black man depend on his culture right now. Every black man lose the way of his culture, his language, his everything. And now everything depend on other peoples. We learn people languages, we eat people foods that have been ordered, we eat we follow people cultures. We never follow our own things. And we said we want the freedom of Africa. How can you be free when the food you are eating you always order it from supermarket? How can you be free when you are not even speaking your own language? You are speaking another man's language and you want to be free from that man. But that man's language is the language that you are speaking each and every day. How can you free that Africa and unite when you Africans have we have no line that we can say we are one here? In language, we are never one. In culture, they divide us. In countries, they divide us. Into how many countries? How many countries? They divide us. When it came to languages, they separate us. We are never one. When it came to cultures, we have different cultures. And we still believe that we can unite. Yes, we are shouting. We need to unite. We will shout till we die. Nothing will happen. Be prepared. We need to be prepared for it. Don't just talk, but let's be prepared for it. There will be a war. I will always repeat it. There will be a war. And there must be a war. Yes. You can't take this Africa from these people without making that war. You have seen what can show you that there will be a big war. Not a small one, but a big war. What will make you believe there will be a big war is when anybody who stood up for Africa, they assassinate that person. That will show you that these people are not going to let anybody to tremble on their way. Yes, even if we are the owner of Africa, but we are not going to tremble on their way to tell them that you have to leave us alone. Because since they are not letting any black African to wake up to talk to his peoples, they will assassinate that person by using your own fellow black peoples. And still we have black peoples among us who can be used by white people to destroy their fellow blacks. I remember when I talk about the story of one boy who was sent by peoples from, I think Holland, from Holland, I think so, who was sent by white peoples to eliminate me. When that black man called me here, a black man with no sense, you agree white people to send you to Pandi Maica to make sure that you trouble Pandi Maica. And you also, you think like you can trouble Pandi Maica when you are sent by white peoples. Why don't white people come by themselves? Because I'm living in white man land. Why do white people don't do it by themselves, but sending my fellow black to make sure that he destroy me? When we don't, that will be a war. When we don't realize that from today, we will fail. Prepare for that war, Africa, and stop relaxing about these peoples. Why am I telling you this? Because whatever you have that can be useful to you, the Africans, tomorrow, when that war came, they are taking everything away from you. Everything. We will stand empty-handed. Who will stand empty-handed and say we want to free Africa when that war came? Empty-handed. You will stand and say we want to free Africa. What do we have in Africa? It's only AK-47 and pistol. When these people are throwing missile and bomb and M16, are we going to stand there and throw AK-47? No. Be prepared for them. They are just little in Africa and they take over Africa and they control Africa. Yes, they sit in their countries and control Africa however they want to control it. What is that showing you? That is showing you they have already win you. Yes, in technology they have already win you because they sit in their countries and control your continent. So this is the high time when you, the Africans, started to realize that we need to also act something. Not just to talk, we want freedom for Africa. We want the unity of Africa. We have to unite. No matter how you unite Africa, without being prepared for that war, it will be zero. Yes, your unity will be zero. I need to say this, my peoples. We all want the unity of Africa. And we all want that freedom for Africa. And this is why we need to tell each other the fact that there will be war. And we need to be prepared for that war. There will be fight. We need to be prepared for the fight. Nobody need to tell you that, hey, you don't know, there will be no fight. We should not fight. We should not hate white peoples. Those black peoples who are living... You know, even that was when I was live on TikTok when one boy came, was telling me that he's from Jamaica, he's living in UK, there will be no fight, we should not hate them, not all of them, because he see that how white people treat him is good, like this and that, because many white women are marrying black, that and that and that and that. You will not understand. And that man, they didn't know that the man you are talking to, I married white woman. But that doesn't make the fact that we will not speak out the truth. And that will not make the fact that they don't plan something against you. That will not make the fact that we will not call them our enemies. That can't delete that fact. But that man, we have many black people like him who don't understand when we talk about these peoples. He don't understand. And he need to understand this, that there are things that we need to talk. We need to talk even if it is violence. We need to say it to our peoples. There are things we need to teach our peoples, even if it is wrong. But remember this, our enemies teach their children wrongly to hate black peoples. Our enemies teach their children bad way, in a bad way. But just because they want their children to have a mentality over black peoples. And this is what is happening. Their children always have mentality over black children. Why? Because their children have been taught with something in school that change their mentality and make them a superior over black man. It's only black people who are teaching their children how to be foolish, how to be nervous, how to be useless in life, how to be under white people. We always teach our children how to be slave and how to remain in slavery. We are never teaching them how to be superior. Are we? No. We are not teaching our children how to be superior. We are teaching our children how to still remain slave by teaching them with another man's language, by teaching them with another man's culture, by telling them another man's story. And our children grow with a mentality that they are slaves. While our enemies are here teaching their children about their culture, about their own culture, about their own language, about their own systems, about how to believe in themselves, and they make their mentality bigger and overcome the mentality of the black peoples. This is why no matter what happens, we can never overcome them when it came to mentality. Mentally, they are powerful than us. Physically, they are powerful than us. When we came to technologically, they are powerful than us. Why? Because we refuse to teach our children this part, these three parts. Physically, mentally, technologically, we refuse to teach our children this part. And these people, this is where they depend on. Mentally, technologically, physically. They make their children to hate black peoples. They tell them lie just for their children to believe that they are always bigger than black man. In schools. Yes, in their schools. They teach their children. And tell them that black is this, black is that, while it's a lie. They know it's a lie, but they have to tell that lie to their children for their children to grow with a wing that we are superior than black peoples. Black peoples are teaching their children how to be inferior, while white people are busy teaching their children how to be superior. You see what is happening to us? I have been saying it. I know I will not live long, and I don't care if I don't live longer. But what I have to say everything before I will die. Yes. Whatever God put in my head to say, I will say it, everything before I will go. Before they will kill me. Black people need to wake up. Nothing is safe for black people. Nothing is nice for black people. Everything beautiful, black people don't deserve it. Can't you see what is happening to you, black peoples? Everything that is good in this world, you people don't deserve it. But everything that is bad, black people deserve it. Every bad name, black people deserve it. Good name, black man don't deserve good name. Yes. When we want to call heroes today, they remove black peoples out from heroes. Yes, but when we want to call terrorists today, they put only black people's name on terrorists. Yes. While the biggest terrorists, the real terrorists, have not been called out. Nobody is ready to call the big terrorists out. If I want to call terrorists today, you know which organizations I will call terrorist organizations. Human rights organization, I will call number 1 terrorist organization. European Union, terrorist union. American government, terrorist government. Because these are people who have been terrorizing everywhere. Nobody is ready to tell them the fact. Nobody is ready to tell Joe Biden that you and your crew are terrorist government. Nobody is ready to tell Ursula, the European Union Council, that they are terrorist union. Nobody is ready to tell them this fact. Nobody. But they have been terrorizing I, black man, from a black hood, from a black woman. I will say it because they have been terrorizing my black territory for a decade. And I have the right to call European Union a terrorist union. Yes. Because they have been terrorizing my black territory for a decade. And they feel powerful, then they want me to feel guilty when I call them terrorists. When you terrorize my people, kill my people, this is an every day. But you want me to feel guilty when I call you a terrorist. No, I will never feel guilty by calling European Union a terrorist union. I will never feel guilty by calling a European Human Rights Organization a terrorist organization. I will never feel guilty by calling Joe Biden and his group a terrorist group. I will never feel guilty when I call Angr government a terrorist government. I will never feel guilty. I will never feel guilty when I call the stupid Macron, France president, a terrorist and a murderer. But nobody is ready to question these peoples for the crimes that they have been committing in this world. Everybody feel afraid to question them. Everybody feel afraid to point finger on them, to call them a terrorist, a criminals, murderers. But they have murdered children, they have murdered our friends, they have murdered our families. But nobody is ready to talk to them. Nobody. Nobody. Everybody feel afraid to tell them the fact. And we are feeling guilty by ourselves that we are the criminals. Why, black man, why? The terrorism that the European Union is causing in Africa, if we cause it in Europe, it will be a problem. If black people cause the same terrorism that the European Union are causing in Africa, if black people cause the same terrorism here, it will be a problem. You will start calling black people, oh, black are terrorizing, black are terrorizing. But while European Union is terrorizing African countries and nobody is talking, European human rights law is tormenting and supporting terrorist group in Africa. Nobody is talking. Huh? France President Macron have been supplying weapons to terrorist group in Africa. Nobody is talking. And when black people came to Europe without nothing, started taking a drug from your peoples and selling it, you say black people are criminals. Black people are that. Where do they get those criminal materials from? From your own peoples. Why are you not seeing your own peoples as criminals? But the only way, the only time that you people can wake up and call criminals out is when you catch one black man doing something wrong. But how many of you, the European citizens, are living in Africa doing terrorism? We have so many European citizens living in Africa doing drug businesses. But nobody is talking about these things. I, Pandi Maica, will talk about these things and over and over and over and over. And I will always tell Africans who you peoples are. Who the hell are you peoples if nobody will describe you people? But you people will always keep on describing Africans in a bad way. When you know you are the real terrorists, but you call Africans a terrorist. When you know you people are the real criminals, but you keep on calling Africans a criminal. And you said no Africans should describe you people as a bad peoples. Yes, we should always describe and say European Union is a good union. Terrorist union. European Union. Terrorist union. European Human Rights Organization. Terrorist organization. Mr. Macron, France president, a terrorist president. Joe Biden, the American president, a terrorist president. Angr government, terrorist government. They are all terrorists, criminals, murderers. But nobody is ready to talk to them. Nobody. They said nobody should talk about them. Who the hell are they? Who born them? Who the hell are they? If they can describe black peoples in a bad way, if they can disgrace black peoples, but nobody should describe them. Yes, a black man should not describe them. It is a big shame on them that if black man describe them, who they are. Yes, they will not allow that. The nonsense will stop. And we will start describing you Westerners however you people are. You are our enemies and you can never be our friends. We have no friendship blood between Africa and West. There is no friendship. Between Africa and West, there is no love. Don't think about it. There are some black people, when you say this, they are very foolish. They have a very foolish mentality. They will start to say, no, you don't have to say that, some of them are good. Are you mad? As a black man, are you crazy? Why are some black people being so foolish? Couldn't understand the system on ground here. Yes, you see your fellow black people who will tell you that, no, you know, some of them are very good, some of them are this, some of them are that. You need to understand what we are talking about here. People need to understand, my fellow Africans. Enjoy your night, my fellow Africans. I will stop my job here. As you can see,